Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Dahlia. I have been trying to record this intro for like 3 minutes. I can't speak today. We are back today on my abandoned summer camp island, Wormwood. Wow, I finally said the words. Okay. Anyways, today we're going to be working on some fun abandoned camp cabins, so I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like the video, make sure to comment down below letting me know how your day's going, and make sure to subscribe if you are new here. Yeah, I don't know, I was really optimistic going into this intro and then I kept screwing up, so I'm not saying the optimism's gone, but it's not exactly here very much anymore. Anyways, today we're going to be working on this area, kind of like all of this space right here, and it's a big build. It's a big build. We're working on a couple of villagers' homes today. I have some new villagers on the island. We have Stitches, we have Biscuit, we have Zucker already, and we have Lucky. And today we're going to be working on it. Okay, so the thing is, okay, let me explain. Originally, this was supposed to be. Okay, it's not hard to explain. It basically, I underestimated just how much space I needed. So initially this was supposed to be a villager, like it was supposed to be like a little area for like 4 cabins. Because if you didn't know, my island is gonna have a bunch of little ghost villagers for the campers that were on this island that mysteriously all disappeared. And initially it was supposed to be 4 villagers. I underestimated just how much space I needed to actually make this possible. I've already started to plan out the layout of my island. Like I said, in my first or second build of this island, I really need to plan out the layout. So I've started to plan the layout, like I've begun, but this one just kind of got away from me. So we're working on 3 villagers' homes instead of 4. So we started at the entrance. I'm just continuing this like really long dirt road that's basically just gonna span the entire bottom of my map probably. And 2 ideas I had going into this build is that there was going to be a parking lot, which as you can see I put together already. I kept screwing up how I wanted to set it up, so the footage was just weird. So here's me setting up the parking lot, and then there's going to be villagers' homes. Those are the only 2 ideas I had going into this. I knew how it was going to lay out, but initially I was going to have the cabins go in like 2 rows of 2, but then I'm like, you know, it'll be even better if I do kind of little cul-de-sacs. So that's what we're doing instead. And you guys know there's 10 villagers overall on this island. I haven't gone really into detail about the villagers I'm going to have on this island yet, although obviously based on the villagers that I'm working on today, you can kind of get the idea that we're doing like spooky, kind of like creepy looking villagers. So I already have my list of all the villagers we're going to be including on this island, and 9 of the villagers are going to be campers, and then 1 villager is going to be kind of like the camp director / camp counselor kind of thing. So I decided, because all of my villagers' homes are going to be like the little cabins for the villagers, or for the campers, I'm going to have 3 cul-de-sacs around the island that have 3 villagers each. So it'll be 3, 6, 9. And then the last house will be the camp counselor's house that I'm going to put separately. And then obviously we have like my own house, and then the other buildings like the shops and like the campsite and stuff. But it worked better to do 3 sets of 3. I don't know why going into this I thought it'd be a good idea to do 4. So that's what we're doing.
An idiot sandwich.
I haven't really explained much of what we're doing here, but this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just filling the bottom portion of the area with trees and wheat fields and shrubs and other things like that. And a lot of this island is filling in these kind of really dense foresty spaces. So I broke it up quite a bit in today's video. If you guys want a more in-depth way of how I decorate this, maybe like a long form kind of build where nothing is cut and nothing is sped up, feel free to let me know. But I feel like you're getting the basic idea of how I'm laying out this island in the way that I cut up the video. So hopefully it makes sense. But now I'm starting to put down the villagers' homes. Now, originally, like as I was doing this, I was initially still going to do 4 villagers, but I'm on the left side of my map, like basically up at the edge, and it just wouldn't have made sense to do 4 villagers homes. So I did 3. Like I mentioned, I customized their houses all exactly the same. I feel like this is just gonna be the way that it looks for all of those cul-de-sacs. Look, it's so cute. A part of me was kind of wish I had moved the houses further back, not further back, but like had the 2 cabins in the front be 1 space each further away from each other. But I had already moved the houses multiple times because I was already planning on doing the different layout. So I'd already moved all the houses and then kept having to time travel to fix it. So this is what we're dealing with. This is how the build looks, and I'm not mad about it, like really. And it looks really nice, and I kept all the way that it is laid out exactly the same. So everything is just very, very symmetrical, very, very nice, which I don't really do symmetry builds very often, if you know me. So having everything laid out perfectly just really works quite nicely. So I created some deck areas for the villagers as well, and then did my little leaf dirt pattern on the ground as well, and then just kind of like filled in the spaces with some trees. And once again, trees, huge portion of this island, to the point where like the amount of times I have to go to treasure islands to get trees is insane. But it beats having to grow them myself. So after we place some of these spiked fencing, we're gonna go actually we're going to stick to this area for a bit, and then we'll go back to the parking lot later. But I really wanted to use the spiked fencing in my previous build, and I didn't get a chance to include it. I just feel like it adds like an extra level of like creepiness, I guess. And I kind of like how they're like kind of just like randomly placed. So also kind of creates like a fun little barrier. So you kind of have to go around the spikes as you're walking through the build, which is really nice. I kind of like how it flows. So yeah, and then I wasn't planning on working on this particular area below here, but because my build, like I said, is quite large, it kind of has like a couple of like little transition spaces that had to be included. This is one of the ones that had to be included. I'm just going to plant some trees and add fencing and stuff, and I already know what I'm going to be building below here. I'm going to be continuing the dirt road that we worked on at the beginning of the video, and then connect this area to the pathway that we're about to create. And I did the same kind of thing at my entrance, where I put the stone arch, and then we're going to be putting some of the fence items with some posters attached to them. And this is a great way for me to like kind of separate different builds. That way everything doesn't exactly like look like one giant section. Everything's just kind of flowing really nicely, which I really, really like. So I'm placing my fence items down, and then I already know like I said, I already know what I'm going to be building below here, because I have been planning out this island. Be very proud of me, please. I never do this.
Proud of you, George.
I am always someone who just kind of goes with the flow. I just feel like because this island is very themed, and it needs to have a particular set of builds, that I'm going to be more organized for once. Which I'm an organized person overall. Like if you have to like ask me daily life wise if I'm organized, I'm pretty organized. I am not organized in terms of Animal Crossing content, unfortunately. This is the way I decorate, and which can be a little bit of a hassle, especially towards the end of an island when you're either running out of builds or you're running out of space and you have a ton of builds you're left to complete. So hopefully I don't come across that issue in creating this island, but I feel like with the planning I'm doing, we should be okay. So now we're just filling in the foresty areas. I broke up a lot and didn't include a ton of the placement, because the only items I'm really using to fill in these foresty areas are wheat fields, shrubs, some garden rocks, and campfires. So very simple, very easy, and it just takes me a long time to place them down. So just to cut some footage, I got rid of a lot of that, but hopefully you guys understand and you get like the gist without me having to show it to you. So initially I wasn't going to have any fake buildings in this build, but I really wanted some additional height behind the cabins. And because this island is going to be, the Dreamy Dress is going to be set to like a foggy morning, the silhouette that the cabins create, like the fake buildings that I place behind the villagers' homes, is really, really cool, and I really love it. You guys will see when I do the final walkthrough just how, I don't know, just how like kind of looming the buildings look. And it just added a little bit of more space. I'm trying to create like a bunch of fake buildings on this island. I've only done one so far, which was the little office / camp main building that I did in my previous build. So I wanted to include a couple more here, and just like I'm probably gonna be doing the same thing for my other camp cabins later on, and this is just a great way to add like a big item, big space build without having to like be too creative or too crazy with it. It just kind of worked for like the general layout. So now we are placing some of my signs, and these are signs I'm using across the island. So if you're curious about any of the custom designs that I'm using in today's build, feel free to check my description, because everything is listed down there for you guys, everything that I've used so far in terms of custom designs on the island. So now we're working at the cabins and placing some items around the villagers' homes. I wanted to fill in the spaces as much as possible while still making it walkable. So we're putting just a bunch of items I would assume that you would find at a camp for like teenagers / kids.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What? So there's like, you know, some toys like the baseball bat, the ball, and then I'm just placing like a bunch of oil barrels and regular barrels and stuff around. And then one thing I did create and place in front of each of the villagers' homes is a clothing line, because to me that just kind of screams like, oh, the kids just like hang their clothes up to dry after they've been to the beach, after they've gone swimming and stuff like that. So I put that in front of each of their homes, which I think just adds like a cute little touch. And it's nice. And why there are like barrels that have like flame logos and warning signs on them. This is a creepy, weird island where like kids disappeared and we don't know what happened. So
Why are you asking me all this question?
I'm not gonna go too into detail about why this is a thing that exists, but it is, and it's fine, and it works, and it looks cute, and I like it. So we finished working on the villagers' cabins. We're now going to be filling in the parking lot, and I wanted to do something kind of similar to what I did at my entrance, where I did the abandoned bus. This is like an area where like the parents have dropped their kids off, or this is maybe even like the cars for the camp counselors that like were just parked in the area, and you just have like a bunch of abandoned cars. We have like a little suitcase, so it looked like someone was getting dropped off, or maybe they were like dropping off their luggage and then they never grabbed their luggage. Like, what happened? Like, I don't know. And it's cute. I wanted something like this. There's probably not going to be a ton of like cars and stuff around the island, so I wanted to at least include one area like this. Maybe one more I'll place on another part of the island, but I just wanted to create like a little area like this. It gave me very much reminiscent vibes of like my Jungle City island, which was one of my favorite islands to work on because it was an abandoned theme. Abandoned themes are some of my favorite to work on because they don't have a lot of rules.
I have a permit. This just says I can do what I want.
And how you can decorate, and this was a similar kind of vibe. So now we're working on placing the dropped items. So we are working and placing some of the leaf piles. We're gonna have some scatter papers placed down, and I'm also including a couple more custom designs on the ground, like my blood splatters and other things like that. We keep it really simple. In my first couple of builds, I mentioned I wanted to keep the horror creepy aspect to like a very subtle kind of creepy, which I think so far we've definitely accomplished, and I really love it. So yeah, we're just gonna place a couple more dropped items just to finish up the build, and that will be a wrap up for today's build. I love how this turned out. It's exactly what I pictured in my head when I was coming up with the idea to do the creepy cabins. So I really hope that you guys enjoy as well. If you have not already, make sure to drop a like on the video, make sure to comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like this video and would like to see more from me. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!